Have you ever met someone and felt an instant electric connection? That feeling of recognition, like you've known them your whole life? It feels like destiny, a cosmic alignment promising happiness and fulfillment. That's what happened to my friend Maya when she met Alex. It seemed like the perfect meet-cute, a story straight out of a romantic comedy. He was charming, attentive, and swept her off her feet with grand gestures, showering her with affection and making her feel like the most special woman in the world. It felt like a movie romance, until the weather changed. The sunny skies of their initial connection began to darken. The affection turned to jealousy, possessiveness masked as love. The grand gestures were followed by cold silences, a withdrawal of affection that left Maya feeling confused and hurt. Alex criticized her friends, her hobbies, even her laugh, finding fault in everything that made Maya who she was, all disguised as caring, couching his criticisms as concern for her well-being. Maya found herself walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring her words and actions, desperate to win back his affection, to recapture the magic of their initial connection. The cycle became a painful dance, a push and pull that left her emotionally drained. A fight, a long silence, then apologies and promises to change, only for the pattern to repeat itself. The highs were intoxicating, a brief return to the initial euphoria, making the lows feel like a price worth paying, a temporary setback on the path to lasting happiness. Maybe you recognize this feeling, this push and pull, this emotional roller coaster. The pull toward someone who feels like both a safe harbor and a raging sea, a source of both comfort and chaos. Friends and family might warn you, seeing the red flags that you're desperately trying to ignore. But the magnetic force is overwhelming, a siren song that's hard to resist. It's a connection that promises everything, a future filled with love, happiness, and unwavering support, while quietly eroding your sense of self, chipping away at your confidence and independence. This is the confusing, heartbreaking reality of being attracted to a toxic person, a relationship that feels both addictive and destructive. It's a pattern many fall into, a cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. Not out of weakness, but because of deep, unseen currents within us, underlying vulnerabilities that make us susceptible to this kind of dynamic. The very intensity that draws us in, the passion and excitement that feels so exhilarating, can become the source of our deepest pain, leaving us feeling broken and lost. We become addicted to the cycle, the highs and lows, the drama and the intensity, mistaking chaos for love, confusing the turbulence for passion. The storm feels familiar, even when it hurts, because it echoes patterns from our past. Why do we return to it again and again? What is it about this dynamic that feels so compelling, even when we know it's harmful? Let's explore what toxic really means, what behaviors constitute a toxic relationship, and why we're drawn to it. What psychological factors make us vulnerable to these kinds of connections? The answer is more complicated than you might think, a complex interplay of past experiences, unmet needs, and unconscious patterns. Toxic isn't just a buzzword that's thrown around casually these days. It carries real weight. In relationships, it signifies a destructive pattern of harm, a recurring cycle that chips away at your well-being, instability, a constant state of unease, and profound emotional distress that leaves lasting scars. A toxic person might be charming and kind to others, putting on a good show for the outside world, but their behavior specifically within the relationship leaves you consistently drained, emotionally depleted, and perpetually anxious. It's not about one bad day, one isolated incident, or a momentary lapse in judgment. It's about a consistent, pervasive environment that relentlessly takes more than it gives, leaving you feeling empty and unfulfilled. Think of the partner who consistently puts you down as a joke, masking their insults with humor, or who's consumed by jealousy and exhibits controlling behavior, trying to dictate your actions and isolate you, secretly checking your phone, violating your privacy and trust, and systematically isolating you from your friends and support network. They call it love, using those words as a shield, but in reality, it's fundamentally about power and control, manipulating you to maintain dominance. A healthy relationship is like fertile soil. It nourishes you, allowing you to grow and flourish into your best self. A toxic one, however, is like poisoned soil. No matter how strong or resilient you are, you will inevitably wilt and suffer. Toxicity is often subtle and insidious, gaslighting, making you question your own sanity and reality, emotional unavailability, a refusal to connect on a deeper level, or making you feel solely responsible for their happiness and emotional well-being. The key is to pay attention to how you consistently feel over time. Are you consistently energized and uplifted, or constantly drained and depleted? Do you feel more confident and self-assured, or increasingly insecure and doubtful? Your feelings are your most reliable guide and compass. If you consistently feel smaller, more anxious, or utterly lost within the relationship, something is fundamentally wrong and needs to be addressed. Recognizing these destructive patterns is the crucial first step towards reclaiming your life and breaking free from the cycle of toxicity. Why are we drawn to people who hurt us? What is it about these relationships that holds such a strong, almost magnetic pull? The answer lies in the complex interplay of our brains and our past experiences. It's a combination of neurochemistry and deeply ingrained patterns. Toxic relationships are intense, full of dramatic highs and devastating lows. They are often characterized by conflict, uncertainty, and emotional volatility. That emotional roller coaster releases a flood of chemicals in our brains, powerful neurotransmitters like dopamine and adrenaline, essentially making chaos feel like passion, blurring the lines between excitement and genuine connection. Our brains can get addicted to the unpredictable nature of these relationships, the constant anticipation of the next high or low, often mistaking this intense stimulation for love itself. Familiarity, surprisingly, is another strong pull. If you grew up in an environment where you had to earn love or constantly navigate unpredictable emotions, perhaps walking on eggshells, a similar dynamic, even if it's painful and unhealthy, can feel strangely like home, a twisted sense of comfort in dysfunction. We're often wired to seek what we know, what feels familiar, not necessarily what's healthy or good for us in the long run. The intermittent reward system keeps us hooked. Affection comes and goes sporadically, so we try harder, hoping for the next high, the next moment of validation. Many of us also have a deeply ingrained fixer mentality, a desire to rescue and repair. We see someone's potential, their hidden goodness, and believe we can heal them, change them, with enough love and dedication. But this often traps us in one-sided relationships, where we're constantly giving and receiving very little in return, pouring all of our energy into fixing others, neglecting our own needs and well-being in the process. Ultimately, we crave the storm, because it's familiar, intensely stimulating, and in a way, addictive. It's a cycle that's hard to break. Breaking free from this cycle means understanding these deeply ingrained patterns and consciously choosing something radically different. The crucial first step is recognizing the cycle, acknowledging that you're caught in a pattern of unhealthy relationships. The next step, and perhaps the most challenging, is learning where it all began, tracing the roots of these patterns. So let's delve deeper and look at how our childhood experiences often shape our adult love stories, influencing the types of relationships we seek and the dynamics we recreate. Our earliest relationships set the blueprint for our adult ones. If love was conditional or unpredictable growing up, we may chase partners who are distant or withholding. The emotional language we learned as children becomes our default. Even kindness and consistency can feel foreign if we're used to chaos. Some of us learn to be caretakers, drawn to partners who need saving, replaying old roles. These patterns form our attachment style, secure if our needs were met, insecure if they weren't. Understanding your attachment style is like finding a map for your relationship choices. It's the key to breaking free from painful, familiar cycles. How do you know if you're stuck in a toxic cycle? Start by looking for patterns. If this message resonates with you, please like and subscribe for more insights on healthy relationships. Do your relationships feel like sequels with different actors but the same drama? Is there always intense passion at first, followed by jealousy or emotional distance? Do you make excuses for your partner's bad behavior, prioritizing their comfort over your own safety? Do you lose yourself, your hobbies, friends, and goals when you're in a relationship? Healthy love adds to your life. It doesn't consume it. If you consistently feel smaller and more insecure after relationships, you're likely repeating a toxic pattern. Awareness is the first step to change. Recognizing the pattern is huge. Now, shift your focus from fixing others to healing yourself. Start with radical honesty. Write down how past relationships made you feel without excuses. Choose to be single for a while. Use this time to rediscover who you are outside of relationships. What do you love? What makes you feel alive? Rebuild your relationship with yourself. Seek support. A therapist or support group can help you connect the dots between your past and present. Learn to set boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they teach others how to treat you. Practice saying no and state your needs clearly. Start small, even with friends. Setting boundaries in all areas of life prepares you for healthier romantic relationships. Healing is a process, but every step brings you closer to the love you deserve. You're not alone on this journey. Now, let's talk tools for rewriting your love story. Create a healthy relationship vision. Focus on what you want: respect, safety, trust, not just what you don't want. Use this vision as your compass when meeting new people. Learn to regulate your nervous system. Practices like mindfulness, deep breathing, or time in nature help you find calm without external validation. Understand the difference between chemistry and compatibility. Chemistry is exciting, but compatibility, shared values, goals, and respect, is what lasts. When dating, ask questions that reveal character, not just charm. Notice how someone handles stress or talks about others. Practice self-love and self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness, especially after setbacks. Celebrate your progress no matter how small. Self-love is the foundation for healthy relationships. When you value yourself, you attract those who value you too. The story can change, starting with you. You have the power to choose differently. The path away from toxic attraction isn't straight, but it leads to freedom and self-connection. The goal isn't perfection. It's knowing your worth and choosing what aligns with your well-being. Imagine a relationship that feels like peace, not anxiety, where you're seen, heard, and celebrated. This isn't a fairy tale. It's possible, and you deserve it. Remember Maya? After leaving Alex, she took time for herself, went to therapy, and rebuilt her life. When she dated again, she chose differently, slowly, intentionally. She found someone kind and consistent. The connection felt like warm sunshine, not a lightning strike. True love anchors you. It doesn't destabilize you. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. By understanding your patterns and bravely doing the inner work, you can break the cycle. You are worthy of a love that feels like peace and helps you grow. That story begins with choosing yourself. Ready to start your journey to healthier love? Comment below with your thoughts or questions and share this video to help others. Today, the healthiest love story is the one you write for yourself.